Notre Dame Stadium sold out for the 206th consecutive game on a hot and humid Labor Day weekend. And now, minutes before the start of the 5th season for Notre Dame head coach Charlie Weis, with his job likely hanging in the balance. He's depending on quarterback Jimmy Clausen living up to his greatly hyped potential. But standing in the way of an opening game win is a hungry and talented Nevada team, led by quarterback Colin Kaepernick, one of only 5 major college players to have passed for 2,000 and run for 1,000 yards in a season. He operates the high-octane pistol offense for Hall of Fame coach Chris Holt. It's the first meeting ever between Nevada and Notre Dame.
Takes the snap, looking for some room, trying to get to the corner. He's into the end zone. Cuts inside, Towers gone. Touchdown, Nevada.
Clausen going to go downfield again. Notre Dame Fighting Irish. So everything is in readiness for opening day at Notre Dame Stadium. The players getting set to make their appearance in the tunnel underneath the stadium. And optimism high in the Irish camp, and here come the Irish. So the Irish with a pregame prayer as the Nevada Wolfpack will make their way toward the field. As we said, optimism high among Notre Dame fans with a large nucleus of returning starters. Lots of grandiose predictions, but the mantra of the players and coaching staff is the talk is over, we've got to prove it. And imagine this scene. Several of the Wolfpack players told us they had always dreamed of playing at Notre Dame Stadium, now ready to make their appearance on the Irish side. Their coach Chris Holt in the Hall of Fame already here in South Bend as the Nevada Wolfpack make their appearance, first time ever at Notre Dame Stadium. There's Coach Holt in his 25th year as the head coach. And high above the Kentucky Bluegrass field here at Notre Dame Stadium is our perch as we welcome you to another season of Notre Dame football. Tom Hammond and Pat Hayden. And this game a lot about coaches and quarterbacks. No question that Charlie Weis and Jimmy Clausen's fates are entwined. And you know, it's supposed to be the new and improved and mature Jimmy Clausen. And from talking to him yesterday, I think he is.
Well, and, you know, we met with him yesterday. It was a completely different aura about him. You know, he was confident without being cocky, sure of himself. Elected a captain not too long ago. Remember this, you know, this mantle of being named the quarterback at Notre Dame. He got 2 years ago as a freshman. He struggled through that freshman year. Was really beaten up. Played much better last year, particularly early parts of the season. But now kind of the stars are aligned, Tom, for them. He's got 10 offensive starters back. You know, Golden Tate, Michael Floyd, the 2 outstanding wide receivers. For him to have a really big season. But I think if the Irish are going to make BCS noise, and that's what the talk is, right? That's the expectations. They're going to have to run the ball much better than they did a year ago. If they're going to make the BCS noise I'm talking about.
Talk about running the football. Now, Nevada can run the football. In fact, I'd never heard of this. They'll start 3 players today who have rushed for over 1,000 yards in a single season, including their quarterback, Colin Kaepernick.
You know, I've been around college football, sadly, 40 years now. I don't think I've ever heard of 3 returning 1,000-yard rushers. But Colin Kaepernick really sets it going. You know, he's the guy that really sets this pistol offense in place. Averaged 7 yards a carry last year as a quarterback and accounted for 39 touchdowns. He runs that pistol offense, which is part shotgun, part I formation. And I think as you look down the Notre Dame schedule, I think Colin Kaepernick is going to be the best quarterback the Irish defense plays all year.
That's quite a statement. Nevada can score some points. Stopping the pass was a problem a season ago. We'll see how they do against Jimmy Clausen and his good receivers today. So we're set for the opener, and the Irish players are sure glad the time has come.
I'm really excited for the 2009 season to start. I honestly can't even sit in my chair right now.
Biggest game on our schedule is the next one, and the next opponent for us is Nevada on September 5th, and we're looking forward to that.
2009 Notre Dame football season is going to be a return to glory.
Like Coach Weiss says, it's time to put up or shut up.
We got to show the world. Talk is cheap. We just got to show the world.
Gonna be a big one today.
Oh, yeah.
Gonna be a big one, baby. ND's back. Stay tuned. ND's back.
That's Irish defensive lineman Ethan Johnson saying Notre Dame is back, and they are back in the top 25, ranked 23rd in the preseason polls as they meet Nevada for the first time ever. And of course, the third member of our team, as always, is Alex Flanagan. Let's check in with her. Alex.
Hey, Tom. Well, as you watch this game today, you're going to notice something different about the way that Charlie Weiss is coaching. He is the team's offensive coordinator this season. Now, what that means is there's going to be times during this game where he has his back to the field. That's because he's going to be sitting over there on the benches with his offense in between their series, coaching them. He's handed the defense over to John Tenuta and Corwin Brown. He's focusing on offense. But, Tom, of course, he's still the head coach, and he has had to make some accommodations to account for these new responsibilities as offensive coordinator. He's added about 3 hours a day to his already busy schedule. But Pat and Tom, really the question that most of the people in the stadium have, and probably most of you at home, is whether or not it will all pay off.
Well, that's what Irish fans want to know as Nevada wins the toss and defers to the second half. And so Nick Rhodes is set to kick it off for the Wolfpack. And deep for the Irish, James Aldridge, and look at this freshman, true freshman, Theo Riddick, number 32, a freshman from Manville, New Jersey. You think the butterflies are flying in his stomach?
Well, all I know is Charlie Weiss wants to handle a lot of kicks today. He is really high on Theo Riddick.
Says he's the fastest man on the team. We're about to find out as he can't stand still awaiting that first kick. And here we go with the 2009 season. Rhodes to kick off for Nevada. It's a short kick. It'll go to Riddick. Riddick from the 10. Theo Riddick, the freshman, tripped up as he crosses the 30-yard line where the Irish will go on offense. And here's Jimmy Clausen, hoping to build off his best game in the Hawaii Bowl, a near-perfect 400-yard, 5-touchdown passing day. Irish start here with two tight ends, Rudolph and Ragone. Floyd in motion. Clausen after the play-action fake. Trying to buy some time and scrambles free and dives to the 40-yard line.
Well, I tell you, Mo Harvey, the strong safety from Nevada, did a great job. He was trying to go deep to Golden Tate, but Mo Harvey kind of took that away. Wow.
Ryan Colson stopped him. Gain of 7 on the scramble by Jimmy Clausen.
Yeah, they were going to open up with a deep pass to Golden Tate, but it was spoiled by Mo Harvey.
Clausen in the shotgun here. 3 wide receivers, Floyd, Paris, and Tate. Another pass. He's setting up a screen, and it's complete to Kyle Rudolph, his tight end. And Rudolph has a first down as he rambles to midfield. Forced out of bounds by Antoine Thompson as the Irish pick up their initial first down on an 11-yard gain.
Well, Nevada has 2 sensational pass rushing defensive ends. And Charlie Weiss told us yesterday, I'm not going to let the defensive ends ruin our game. So what are you going to do? We're going to throw a lot of screens, he said. We're going to run right at them. And this is their opening screen right here to the tight end, Kyle Rudolph. And their quarterback, Jimmy Hassan, very pleased with that first screen. I think you're going to see a lot of screens today from the Irish to try to slow down Dante Moak and Kevin Bassbed of Nevada.
And Clausen going for Floyd. And threw it out of bounds. And Floyd couldn't get there, defended by Antoine Thompson. Let's take a look at our Adidas starting lineups now. First for the Notre Dame offense. As we'll see big Sam Young in there in the offensive line. He's a senior now. He started every game of his career. This is number 39. Into the backfield, Allen, the featured tailback. Aldridge moves to fullback. Tate and Floyd, two of the best receivers in the country.
A lot of two tight end sets, again, to try to slow those defensive ends of the Wolfpack down.
One of them, Rudolph, in motion. First running game is Armando Allen. First running play, Armando Allen. And he got 5 or 6 yards on his first carry of the game.
I think one of the things for the Irish this season in that running game that we talked, it's so important is that Armando Allen gets some yards after contact, Tom. I mean, in the last, even he said himself, I watched tape of all my games. I went down too easily. I'm going to break through some tackles. And Charlie Weiss is hoping he's going to see that second gear.
That's what he said.
In the games that he sees in practice.
Told us that he now has a second gear, so we'll see if we see that.
Probably always had a second gear, we just haven't seen it.
Back to a 3-wide set. Floyd, Paris, and Tate. Paris in motion. Clausen, time, throws it complete, just a yard short of the first down to Allen out of the backfield. Brandon Marshall, a good job from his linebacker spot.
Charlie Weiss, as we know, Tom, we've seen him for 5 years, goes for it on 4th down and short as much as anybody. He said this year it's a little bit different, though. I feel like I can run it. I don't have to throw it every time on 4th and short. We'll see what kind of he brings in his power back. It looked like James Aldridge.
Yes, Aldridge is in the backfield. 2 tight ends, Rudolph, Ragone, actually 3 now. Bobby Berger is in there as well. Aldridge. Got it, but not by much. Stacked up in the center of the Nevada defense, but enough for the first down.
Well, we said at the very top, Tom, the offensive line in that running game are the barometer, I think, of the kind of season the Irish are going to have, certainly on offense. Good takeoff there. Sam Young, number 74, did a great job against Dante Moak. That great defensive end for the Wolfpack. 4-year starters, 39th consecutive game for Sam Young. But this is after today, it's actually 105 consecutive starts among those guys.
Hand off to Allen. Armando Allen gets the corner and has an 11-yard gain before he's forced out of bounds.
Okay, so we've seen screens, right? A couple of 2 tight end sets, a draw play. And as we said, Coach Weiss said that these defensive ends who've been so good for Nevada, 21 sacks between them last year. This is one of 99, Kevin Basped, getting upfield. And when he gets upfield, they just hand the ball to Allen. Runs right inside the outside pass rush of Kevin Basped.
Didn't get a very good spot on the football right at the down marker, but enough for the first down. First down Irish, driving off the opening kickoff. I formation this time and pitch to Allen from the tailback spot.
They're really working on Kevin Basped. And that's 3 plays. They ran a screen to Kevin Basped's side. They've run a draw over there, and then now they had a little pitch play.
Our Adidas starting lineups for the Nevada defense. There are those 2 pass rushing ends, Moak and Basped. Linebacker core headed by Brandon Marshall. And Amaya from his safety spot led the team in tackles and interceptions last season. Armando Allen now 3 carries for 24 yards. Second down. Quick toss to Floyd. Got a block. Yeah, actually, Antoine Thompson came off the block pretty quickly to make the play on Floyd, but it is another Irish first down.
Yeah, quick pass to a big, strong receiver. Michael Floyd, 6'3", 215. Good block by Golden Tate. And if you play off, again, we've seen this with Charlie, if you play off wide receivers, he's going to make a lot of quick throws, force you to be good tacklers in the open field.
So spot the ball at the Nevada 13-yard line. First down Irish. Steadily marching down the field. Clausen in the shotgun. Swings it to Allen. Dangerous pass. It hung up there as the defense and the former Brandon Marshall was bearing down on it.
Yeah, that could have been either been intercepted, or we could have seen Armando Allen get quite a hit.
Yeah.
But no harm, no foul. Kevin Basped is the guy number 99 that Charlie Weiss is so concerned about. They've run a screen to his side, a draw to his side. One more time. This time pretty good bull rush against Paul Duncan. Kevin Bassett had 10.5 sacks last year, 18.5 tackles for loss.
That last play lost 4 yards, so 2nd and 14. Here's the Wildcat offense with Armando Allen taking the direct snap. Allen running and caught from behind and dropped back at the 20-yard line.
That's the other defensive aid, Dante Moak.
Yeah, he's quick, and you saw it there as he chased down Armando Allen, who took the direct snap with Jimmy Clausen lining up at a wide receiver spot.
Well, everybody's running this Wildcat formation. Jimmy's down here. Jimmy's down at the bottom of the screen. But again, you see more and more college teams do this.
Right.
And
a few pro teams do.
Absolutely.
So here's 3rd down and 16 from the shotgun. Clausen. And whistles will stop play. Timeout, Notre Dame. So the Irish saw the play clock ticking away and call a timeout. They'll face a big 3rd down and 16 from the 19 of Nevada when we come back. Notre Dame football is brought to you by the Ford F-150. It's not just a pickup truck, it's a Ford F-150. By Northwestern Mutual, bringing you insurance, investments, ideas. And by Adidas, impossible is nothing. Tom Hammond, Pat Hayden, Alex Flanagan, Notre Dame Stadium, season opener for Nevada and the Irish of Charlie Weis. Notre Dame has taken the opening kickoff, driven downfield to the 19 of Nevada, facing a 3rd and 16 here. Clausen pumps once, goes for the end zone, caught. Rudolph. Touchdown Irish on the pass to Kyle Rudolph.
I'll tell you, Tom, the beauty of having a 6'6" tight end who can run. And when you have outside guys like Golden Tate and Michael Ford, the midsection of your defense is vulnerable to a big tight end at 6'6". Now, he's pretty well covered. I mean, he is very well covered, but he just jumps up and makes the play.
Now the freshman kicker, Nick Tosh, will attempt the point after. His first kick for the Irish. And at center on his first play in a Notre Dame uniform, Nick Tosh, the freshman place kicker. So a 19-yard touchdown, Clausen to Kyle Rudolph, who just went over the defense to grab it.
Well, we said, 10 returning offensive players, including that man, their leader now, Jimmy Clausen, elected captain. But I want to tell you that Kyle Rudolph has a chance, I think, Tom, having a big season, because you have to worry about Golden Tate and Michael Floyd on the outside. Good protection, little pump fake. See how he looked left first and then came back right? Just one of those little subtle things to keep one of the safeties at bay. So the maturation that you talked about earlier of Jimmy Clausen, well, I mean, it's tough for defensive coordinator. You have it pretty well covered.
Went right over Cameron Bain at 6'1". And on that drive, Pat, Jimmy Clausen hit 5 of 6 for 36 yards. So Tausch will get to kick off for the first time for the Irish, the freshman place kicker who just hit the extra point. And Notre Dame scores on its first possession of the season. And made a habit of putting it into the end zone on the kickoff. And that was something sorely lacking for the Irish last year.
One touchback all season.
Mike Hall and Chris Wellington are the deep men for Nevada. Here's the kick by Tosh. It's a short kick. Taken by Ball. From about the 7, Mike Ball made a nice cut. And twisted down at about the 27-yard line. Scott Smith on special teams for the Irish as we get our first look at the pistol offense directed by Colin Kaepernick. Look, at his first 2 years, he's rushed for 23 touchdowns, thrown for 41 touchdowns total in his first 2 seasons for the Wolfpack. He is 6'6", and he looks
Long stride.
Yeah. And has his big, long strides.
And a fastball for a delivery.
In fact, a baseball player that had a 94-mile-an-hour fastball and was drafted for the major leagues, though he stuck with football. Handoff. Vaitawa gets the first carry of the game for Nevada, and a short gain it is as we look at our starting lineups brought to you by Adidas. And as we look at the Nevada offense, tackle Alonzo Durham, one of the captains, a 3-year starter. And in the backfield, Lippincott, normally a running back, gets the call at receiver. He led the WAC in rushing 2 years ago. And Tawa, who got that first carry, led the WAC last year with Lippincott injured. Kaepernick's first toss is on the money and complete close to midfield to Trey Session. It goes for 20 yards and a Wolfpack first down.
And in this pistol offense, you're going to see that man, Colin Kaepernick, outside, the tackle a lot. They like a lot of boots, a lot of rollouts, a lot of play action. Again, in a good route by Session. Gave his quarterback lots of room to throw that out route.
So the ball just shy of midfield. First down, Nevada. From that pistol offense. And now Kaepernick changing the play, perhaps. Blitz comes from the Irish in a running play. Tawa made a nice cut and is inside the 35 to the 34-yard line of the Irish. 17-yard run before Kyle McCarthy makes the tackle.
We said this pistol offense has some I formation elements. That's one of them. In most shotguns, the back lines up on either side of you. It's hard to run inside quickly. But see, he's almost in an I formation, so you have all of those inside north-south runs available. That's what Chris Althea, the head coach and quarterback coach, designed it to do.
Gives those running backs time to make a read from deep when they get the ball. Kaepernick again adjusting the play. Another running play. Tawa again. He's inside the 25-yard line. Harrison Smith upends him there. A gain of 10. Yeah, that running game is clicking already.
You're right, Tom. This is a good throwing team, but you had better worry about the run first. And this offensive line, led by Alonzo Durham, kind of getting on there, guys. Good block by Kenneth Ackerman, the center.
Tawa used that block by Durham well, too, cutting right off him.
There's Alonzo Durham, elected captain, plays their quick tackle. Said, I'm honored to be a captain.
Intelligent, well-spoken young man, as we talked to him on the telephone the other day. Kaepernick, Tawa again, straight up the middle, pounds inside the 20-yard line where he's stacked up by the center of the Notre Dame defense, but not until he had a decent gain on first down. Here's the Notre Dame defense, our Adidas starting lineups. Ian Williams has played every game of his career. He had 40 tackles last season. Brian Smith, really the heart of the defense from his linebacker spots. And Kyle McCarthy led the team in tackles, the first defensive back with over 100 last season. Second down and 5 for the Wolfpack. Their first possession, they're driving downfield just as Notre Dame did. Option play. Kaepernick still has it. Tackled for a loss. Back at the 25-yard line by Brian Smith.
Well, that's one way you shut down a quarterback who's run 7 yards a carry last season. Sick Brian Smith on him. You can match him speed for speed. Charlie Weiss saying our best defensive player, Brian Smith, as a junior. They're expecting him to lead this defense. Had some spectacular plays last year, Tom, but not every play. But that one was a spectacular.
A 7-yard loss. Third down and 11 from the Irish 25-yard line. Kaepernick across the middle, but short of the first down to Wellington, who made the catch on a crossing route, but couldn't get away, and well short of the first down. Kyle McCarthy made sure of that.
Yeah, first tackle of the year for Kyle McCarthy. We'll see a few more.
And not the last.
Yeah, 110 a year ago. There's head coach Chris Ault. He coaches the quarterbacks as well as being head coach.
So Ricky Drake is on to attempt a field goal on fourth down for Nevada. Drake, a 39-yard attempt. Junior college transfer with his first kick for the Wolfpack, and it is no good. So the Notre Dame defense sees Nevada drive downfield, but the Wolfpack missed the field goal attempt. Still 7-0. Notre Dame leads Nevada 7-0, and the Irish take over after the missed field goal attempt. Jimmy Clausen under center, starts from his 22-yard line. Hand off to Allen. Armando Allen thrown back at the line of scrimmage, got maybe a yard.
Armando Allen had a nice all-around year for the Irish, Tom, last year. You know, caught 50 balls, ran for almost 600 yards. Good all-purpose guy. Had a kickoff return. There's Jerome Bettis.
Returning to his alma mater for opening day.
Looks like he's playing golf at nice places. Pine Valley.
Give Allen a couple of yards on that first down carry. 2nd down and 8, and Clausen to the air and going deep downfield.
No.
Golden Tate out of bounds. Made a beautiful catch, but he was out of bounds.
I'm watching the left tackle, Paul Duncan, number 72 for the Irish. He's in for a day's full of work. I want to tell you, he's got a bunch of defensive ends that are really going to get in his face. And that's one of the key things. He's the lone non-returning starter. Let's look at the end of the play here. You get a foot down. Foot down. Do you have possession? Looks like a catch to me, Tom.
Yeah, it does.
Yeah. Every play is reviewed. There you go. There it goes. Yeah.
There's the stoppage of play to review it. This is a Big East officiating crew today, headed by the referee Dennis Hennigan. As Robert Welsh and Ed Ferrante, the replay officials upstairs, will take another look.
Well, I did a good job of actually looking at this again. That's what they're supposed to do.
Yep.
Golden Tate is so good when the ball's in the air. You know, he just doesn't bobble the ball. Left foot was in before that. I think he had possessions. Have another look. Left foot's in. I think he's got possession, but I'm not sure how they're going to overturn that one, right? It's got to be indisputable.
And he kind of brought it into his chest and maybe didn't have possession right away.
Well,
so maybe it was not quite in possession inbounds.
That's what I say. That's a tough one to overturn. Yeah. I think it's a catch, but I think it's a tough one to overturn. That left foot is down, but does he have possession of the ball yet?
Left foot is definitely in, but did he have possession of the ball? He kind of cradled it against his chest.
Yeah, well, that's a catch. Wasn't bobbling.
So Dennis Hennigan, who is the referee of the Big East crew, played football at the University of Rochester.
Yeah, the Yellow Jackets, defensive end there.
Meanwhile, Nigel Burton is trying to get his defense on the same page. He's upstairs, calling down to the sideline where the assistant coaches relay the information.
After further review, the receiver had possession of the ball when his left foot came down inbounds. It is ruled a completed catch.
Can't disagree with that, right? Dennis doing a good job. That's what replay is all about. And another big play for Golden Tate. 58 catches last year, Tom. 15 of them went for 30 yards or more. And Charlie Weis indeed happy about the way his offense is performing so far in this early in this game.
He went for 36 yards on the review, so a big play for the Irish on the review. They have a first down now at the Nevada 40-yard line.
There's that Wildcat again. Jimmy Clausen coming down to play wide receiver. Think they'd ever dare throw it to him?
No. Armando Allen will get the direct snap. Fakes the handoff and keeps it. Turns the corner. Allen. Flag is down as Allen is smashed out of bounds right into the Nevada bench.
86 offense, 10-yard penalty, first down.
So a holding call against Bobby Berger.
There he is, the third tight end. Just was recently given a scholarship. Hope they don't take it away. I know his parents don't want him to take it away. don't know, it didn't look like a hold to me.
No.
It did not. 86 was not holding.
Berger, the walk-on, now on scholarship, as you noted, transfer from Dayton. His dad played at Notre Dame. And into the Irish backfield for the first time is Jonas Gray, a sophomore from Pontiac, Michigan. Fake it to him. Here's Clausen delivering, and another strike to Golden Tate. And today's first down line brought to you by Xerox.
Yeah, one of the big questions today, hey, could these offensive linemen really protect against the defensive ends? And so far, both by scheme and just flat out effort, they have protected Jimmy Clausen quite well.
They put such emphasis on him.
Yeah.
Handoff, Gray. Jonas Gray is rudely greeted on his first carry of the season. He lost a half yard.
And James Michael Johnson, that linebacker. Talked to the defensive coordinator Nigel Burton, said about Burton, he's gonna make some big plays for us. Offensive line didn't get the push there they needed, but they protected Jimmy Clausen quite well.
So 3rd down and 5 for the Irish. They're at the 35-yard line of Nevada, leading 7-0. Scored on their first possession. This is their second. Clausen across the middle, and it's complete to Paris. Robbie Paris with his first reception of the season gets 10 yards and an Irish first down.
Well, you know, Charlie Weiss is calling plays again. You know, that was what we started the top of the show with. Alex Flanagan mentioned that, and again, this is what he got hired as a result of the way he called plays in New England. He's a very good play caller. He's throwing the ball to the Golden Tate, Michael Floyd. Now the third wide receiver, Robbie Paris, run the Wildcat formation. Touchdown pass to the tight end down the middle. They've done a little bit of everything, Tom. They look good.
Clausen in the shotgun on first down. Plenty of time. Has to scramble free and is tackled for a sack by Ryan Colson.
Ryan Colson, really, they don't list him as a starter, but they almost consider him as one. Nigel Burton, the defensive coordinator, said this is a guy that has really come on this past spring summer camp for us. Started as a linebacker. They moved him defensive end. Another one of those defensive ends quick off the corner.
It'll set up a 2nd down and 16 for the Irish in the final seconds of the first quarter. And a bunched formation at the bottom of the screen here, and they pitch the ball to Allen. And Allen stopped by Mike Bethea as he comes across the 25-yard line, a 7-yard gain.
Yeah, but a good tackle by Mike Bethea and Jonathan Amaya, excuse me, the free safety. I think it's the 4th tackle so far for Amaya.
And the final seconds will tick away. And that will end the first quarter. So at the end of one in the season opener, the Irish are leading Nevada 7-0. And we'll return to Notre Dame Stadium after these messages from your local station. You're watching Notre Dame football on NBC. Beautiful shot of Notre Dame Stadium. Snoopy 1 is in South Bend to provide these dramatic views of the game. The MetLife Blimp provides coverage of major sporting events, while MetLife provides you with guarantees for the if in life. Visit MetLife.com today. First play of the second quarter about to unfold. 3rd down and 9 for the Irish. Clausen back to pass. Looking for the end zone, rightfully to Floyd for the touchdown.
Well, the expectations were high for the Irish, particularly with 10 returning starters on offense, Tom. And I know this is early in the season, but they're looking pretty good. great protection. And it really, Armando Allen got a great block to help him have the time to get this off. A little post route. The free safety was consumed by the tight end, Kyle Rudolph. Rudolph did a terrific job. But if it wasn't for Armando Allen's little chip block, Jimmy Clausen would have had a chance to get that ball off.
Tausch for the extra point attempt. And Nick Tausch boots it through. Jimmy Clausen starts the game hitting 9 of his first 10 passes for 114 yards and 2 touchdowns. 14-0 Irish. Irish lead 14-0 early in the second quarter at Notre Dame Stadium. And Tausch ready to kick it off. There's Mike Ball, deep for the Wolfpack.
He slipped.
I think he slipped.
Yeah, right,
Tausch slipped and fell down, so a short kick covered by the Wolfpack at about the 31-yard line. Brett Roy covered it for the Wolfpack, who will take over at that point from their own 31, trailing 14-0 after this Floyd touchdown catch.
Well, back in Notre Dame Stadium, Alex Flanagan was saying, hey, with Charlie Weis as the offensive coordinator, he's going to have his back to the field sometimes when the defense is out there because he's going to be talking and coaching up his offense.
Well, there he was. Kaepernick is sacked.
Yeah, second time by Brian Smith. Yeah, this guy is a dynamic player. You know, as a freshman, he played a little bit. Last year, he started. This year, he's a leader. Best player on defense.
Loss of 11 on the play.
Yeah, it's the second time Brian Smith has kind of burst through unblocked, and Colin Kaepernick is a pretty elusive guy. And Brian Smith said he took Spanish this summer so he could be bilingual and trash talk.
We see Darren Walls on the field for the first time. Missed all of last season for personal reasons, but told us he never doubted he would one day return to the Irish, and here he is on the field at quarterback. Kaepernick scrambling. There are those big, long, galloping strides as he goes to the 26-yard line. Sergio Brown covers him at the 26. It'll be third down for the Wolfpack.
We had a nice conversation with Colin this week, and he was saying, you know, we're not just coming to Notre Dame Stadium to show up. We're planning on winning. And he has had a fantastic career. See that only the 5th quarterback in history to throw for 2,000 and rush for more than 1,000.
And the highly talented freshman, Manti Te'o of Notre Dame, is on the field for the first time. And he looks like he's going to blitz. Kaepernick steps up, got away from Te'o.
And Te'o got back to him, though.
Knocked him down short of the 40-yard line, preventing a first down.
Well, you know, interesting. You saw the speed of Manti Te'o, number 5. This guy is probably as big a recruit, defensive recruit, as Notre Dame has had in a long, long time. Number 5 rushes the passer first, not there. Now watch the speed. You know, he's 6'2", 225 pounds from Hawaii. Everybody wanted this kid. The Irish got him, and they think as this season wears along, he is really going to be not only a starter, but a difference maker.
Brad Langley, who averaged 44 yards a punt last season, will kick it to the dangerous Golden Tate. Golden lets it bounce. We're in a roll dead around the 20-yard line, just short of the 20-yard line. So the punt covered 42 yards with no return, but here comes Jimmy Clausen. He's been hot. 9 of 10 to open the game. Notre Dame football is brought to you by U.S. Bank. Since 1863, the dreams of millions have taken off with us. U.S. Bank. By Xerox, ready for real business. And by Coca-Cola Zero, real Coke taste and 0 calories. Irish take over. Jimmy Clausen's hit 9 of 10. First possession, he directed the Irish 12 plays, 67 yards. Second possession, 9 plays, 78 yards. Aldridge James Aldridge gets 9 yards on first down. Dante Moak makes the stop as we go down to Alex.
Hey, Tom, well, it is absolutely critical that Nevada maintain its composure here. They've had a tendency in the past to melt down when bad things happen after the first 2 defensive series. Kevin Basped, the defensive end, came off looking pretty dejected and frustrated. Notre Dame has really been getting after him a lot, and so coach is telling the players that now the defense, aside from Basped, has to win those one-on-one matchups if they're going to have success, Tom.
All right, Scooter. 2nd and 1, and Clausen swings it complete to Floyd. And Michael Floyd uses his blockers. He's down the sideline. Michael Floyd goes for the touchdown.
Saw this a lot last year when he was a freshman. He has just picked up right where he left off. Big freshman year, set all the freshman records. Bottom of the screen down here. He's in the slot, excuse me. Good block by Tate. And then it just, outruns. And this is what Nevada did last year, is give up so many big plays in the passing game, not just a lot of yardage.
And what about Golden Tate with his blocking? Wow. Tausch extra point, good. Michael Floyd, 3 receptions, 101 yards, and 2 touchdowns. We're early in the 2nd quarter, and Clausen has tossed 3 touchdown passes. 21-zip.
Having Michael on the other side is great. You think you only want one premier, wide out, but you really need 2. Mike's a great player, and I can't wait to see him this year as he grows.
Golden Tate's block that was able to spring Michael Floyd for the 70-yard touchdown reception. Tausch ready to kick it off. Chris Wellington returns this one. And hit shy of the 20-yard line and dropped by Sergio Brown.
Let's go back to that touchdown. I tell you, if your wide receivers, who are the stars here, are willing to block like Golden Tate did here, watch this block. It clearly is enough to allow Michael Floyd to get around and hit the edge. But, 5-yard, that would have been maybe a 5-7-yard play if Golden Tate doesn't get that block. Instead, it's a long touchdown. And for Rob Iannello, who coaches the wide receivers, if you don't block, you don't play.
Right. 70-yard reception, the longest of Michael Floyd's young career and the longest completion of Jimmy Clausen's career. Nevada needs to get something going. In danger of being blown out unless they can get some offense working. And here's a flag that comes flying. It'll be a delay of game, and that's not a good way to start the series.
First down.
We were talking to Colin Kaepernick yesterday as they practiced in the stadium. This is the loudest part of the stadium. They use silent counts, but took way too long to get that ball snapped. Actually didn't get a snap.
And, of course, Thursday, the Super Bowl champion Steelers will take on the Titans in the NFL kickoff. And then Sunday night is football night as the Bears take on the Packers, one of the oldest rivalries in the NFL. Bob Costas hosts Football Night in America live from Lambeau Field. Coverage begins at 7 Eastern on NBC.
Jay Cutler is going to have a big impact with the Bears. That guy's a player.
First down and 15, Wolfpack. Kaepernick keeps. Dives forward to the 25-yard line.
We really haven't seen him out in the open territory that they had planned to get.
He got 10 yards on that carry.
And Notre Dame's averaging over 10 yards a play. It's incredible. 3 touchdowns. Nevada just hasn't had enough of them.
Second down and 5. Kaepernick fakes. Tosses downfield, but wide of his intended receiver Session. Didn't look good on that throw.
Yeah, and once again, Colin Kaepernick finds himself in a third, relatively long down.
3rd and 5 it'll be. Kaepernick, born in Milwaukee, youngest of 3 boys, and has about 50 friends and family that have come from Milwaukee and from California, where he lives now. His family lives, Turlock, California. Blitz coming. Pass deflected and incomplete by John Ryan.
But then they've got some unblocked players that have really caused some problems. This time it was John Ryan, number 90. Twice Brian Smith has come in unblocked. And again, it's a good defensive scheme by John Tenuta, their defensive coordinator. He's actually the full-time defensive coordinator this year. But there's too many Irish players coming in unblocked. Brian Smith has 2 sacks, and John Ryan forced the punt there with that deflection.
Langley to punt. Golden Tate backpedaling all the way to the 21-yard line. Slipped the first man, but not the second. Good special teams coverage that time by the Wolfpack. 53-yard punt and -2 on the return. Jared Silva Purcell made the special teams play, but the Irish have the ball back. Notre Dame football is brought to you by Chase. Introducing Chase Sapphire Card. Unlimited rewards, unbelievable experiences. Get yours today at chase.com/sapphire. Leprechaun feeling frisky today.
Yeah. New season, new Leprechaun.
And a 21-0 lead in the second quarter. And the ball back. Irish start from their own 19-yard line. Dane Christ is the new quarterback, and he completes it to Rudolph. So Dane Christ, with his first pass for the Irish, completes it to the tight end Kyle Rudolph.
Yeah, you see him wearing that number 10, Brady Quinn's old number. He actually called Brady Quinn and asked him, was it okay if I wear your old number? Brady tipped his hat, said, you're welcome. Highly recruited kid out of Notre Dame High School in Southern California.
Canoga Park, California. Tossing back in after Christ had the one play. Duval Camara is in there at a wide receiver spot now, 3 wide. Fake and a reverse. Tate. Bad enough fooled on the play. Down to the 25-yard line by Brandon Marshall and Isaiah Fry.
Well, Golden Tate is a guy, I think, one of the keys to their offense this year. He's so good. As we look at the Xerox first down line, Tom.
Brought to us by Xerox, the first down line.
Golden Tate's a guy that, we've seen him in the passing game, catching that ball, the long ball down the sideline for 36 yards, the block that sprung him. I think he's going to be a great punt returner because he's so hard to tackle.
How about this for a good start?
Yeah.
3 tight ends here. 3rd down and 5. Toss it to Allen. Nice play by the Nevada defense. Doyle Miller came up from his corner spot to stop Allen, and for the first time today, the Irish will punt. Eric Most will come on to punt for Notre Dame.
A new long snapper for Notre Dame, Jordan Coward, a freshman, true freshman, recruited as a scholarship player, a little unusual.
Eric Most in confirmation.
So he'll snap it back to Most. And the first Irish punt of the day. Tawa is awaiting the boot. Tawa has to run up to get it and makes a fair catch. Punt covered 37 yards, no return, and Nevada will take over with 8:26 left in the first half. Tennessee, after a slow start, got the Hilltoppers big. BC, future Notre Dame opponent, wins 47-0. Georgia and Oklahoma State, couple of ranked teams. And SC and San Jose State, 7-3 for the Trojans here early. So here we are in our new redesigned digs for the Notre Dame season, and the Irish off to a fantastic start if you're a Notre Dame fan. Right now, Nevada's trying to get something going before halftime to get some kind of momentum.
You know, they've had some moments, but they haven't really been able to put a drive together. And, you know, when you get down 21-0, you're on the road, all these explosive plays that can really be demoralizing. But I think one of the keys, or two keys, the Irish have run the ball better than they did mostly last year, and they protected Jimmy Clausen.
And he looks like he took right up where he left off in the Hawaii Bowl when he played a relatively perfect game.
Well, remember he said he's more mature, elected captain. There's just a different feeling about Jimmy Clausen when we met him yesterday.
On 2nd and 3, Kaepernick steps up, nowhere to go. Scrambling free, nice run. Pick up some first down for the Wolfpack.
Well, if they're going to get back in this ball game, Colin Kaepernick is going to be that guy to bring him back in. You know, we mentioned the kind of sensational year he had a year ago, but he's going to have to carry this team on his shoulders, and he did on this play, literally. You know, he dodged around in the pocket, didn't force the ball down the field, didn't throw the interception, and he, as we said, he's 6'6", 220 pounds. You know, this is a hard guy to tackle.
From the 44, Nevada first down. And the handoff to Tawa. Still going, and Tawa's inside the Notre Dame 30. Harrison Smith tracked him down, tried to strip the ball free, but Tawa had it clamped down. Nice run. It goes for 16.
Really important drive for the Wolfpack. Kenneth Ackerman, the center. Anytime you have a big run up the middle, your center's got to have a good block, right? The center, Kenneth Ackerman, does his job. Good block there on Torian Smith. And then it's Harrison Smith who makes the tackle. But they started the game with that inside runs that were pretty effective. They just not been able to finish drives and get the ball in the end zone. Don't really get much out of a passing game either, Tom.
That pass incomplete.
You know, they lost all their leading receivers from a year ago. The one guy, Chris Wellington, came, you know, he was their leading receiver that was returning. But other than Chris Wellington, all the receptions combined by the other wide receivers, just one coming in today's game. So, big question mark for them.
The throw low from Kaepernick. Session couldn't handle it. Now 2nd down and 10. That's Chris Ault. Took the team to the Hall of Fame to see his bust last night. One of only 3 active coaches in the College Football Hall of Fame.
He's had a remarkable career at Nevada. Played quarterback in the 60s and just been 25 years as their head coach.
Coaching 3 different stints. This pass complete out of the backfield. Tawa is just short of the 20-yard line where he's tackled by Kyle McCarthy. And after they had a walkthrough here at Notre Dame Stadium, the Wolfpack and their coach Chris Ault took off for the College Football Hall of Fame here in South Bend. Walking onto the mock field there, and of course they wanted to see this. This was the display for Coach Ault. Yes, it's true. He's in the Hall of Fame.
Yeah, well, he's won almost 200 games, 198 games, and you know he didn't have a losing season until his 10th year at Nevada.
So Luke Lippincott pointing at the display for Coach Ault, and they had their picture taken at the Hall of Fame. Nice trip for the Wolfpack and their first ever voyage to play Notre Dame. Tawa with the first down run. No, just short. Let's see. Alex?
Hey, Tom, well, Coach Ault said that the kids weren't overly impressed with his bust at the Hall of Fame, but he did say it was really neat for him to go back. It's the first time that he's been back since being enshrined, and he said it was a very, very humbling moment for him, Tom.
Yeah, first time back since 2002 when he went into the Hall of Fame.
But, you know, he deserves it. You know, he's 29 years old when he took over that job. We mentioned this is his 25th year. He's had 5 seasons with 11 wins or more.
And an innovator, the pistol offense.
Absolutely. His teams have always scored a lot of points. They haven't been able to really break through in the WAC like Boise State has. That's their next challenge, right?
Picked to challenge Boise State in the WAC this year, although Boise State looked good the other night against Oregon before the fisticuffs broke out.
And Chris Ault was saying to us this week, a strange profession. You know, you work all year for 12 games.
So 4th and inches, and the Wolfpack will go for it.
Now, again, they don't get under center much. Really, just when they are coming out. That's what Coach Ault told us. So 4th and 1, and will Kaepernick still be in the pistol?
Looks like he will be. 4th down and inches. Play clock still has plenty of time. They'll go on a silent count here with a noise in that end zone.
Still has 5 seconds to get the ball snapped.
Nothing.
Stuffed.
Tawa stopped in his tracks by Torian Smith.
Well, there's a lot of Smiths on this team. We've seen Brian Smith with 2 sacks. That's Torian Smith, the middle linebacker.
So a 4th and inches. The Irish defense comes up big. Notre Dame takes over after holding Nevada on 4th and inches. Hand off to Allen.
Well, we said that Jimmy Clausen was more of a leader this year, elected captain by his teammates, and you sure sense it and feel it from him this day. Not only throwing the ball particularly well, exhorting his teammates, leading them. Congratulations. How about the defense? You know, talking to the defensive players, I really haven't seen him do that much.
Right.
Yeah, different Jimmy Clausen. As we said at the top, stars are aligned for him to have a big season.
Allen again. Driving ahead across the 30-yard line. Good leg drive by Allen results in an Irish first down. Alex?
Hey, Tom, the biggest thing I'm noticing with Jimmy Clausen down here is he's having fun, and I don't think I would have said that of the last 2 years. He really genuinely feels like he's enjoying it. In the offseason, he reached out to a few people, a few quarterbacks to kind of pick their brains. Miami's Chad Pennington, as well as Joe Montana and Joe Theismann. And Pat, I think that's one of the signs of his maturity is he's really reaching out and asking questions now.
Those are pretty good minds to pick.
Didn't call me. No surprise.
No. Clausen across the middle. Whoa. Rudolph can't hang on. The pass, that one was not on target. Just a little high for Kyle Rudolph. Hard to throw it over the big man, but incomplete.
Not only did he talk to some quarterbacks this offseason, he invited some of his wide receivers to come out to California and spend a week with the Clausen family. So Golden Tate and Michael Floyd and Kyle Rudolph all came out to sunny Southern California and worked out 8 hours a day.
Got a little beach time in.
Little beach time, little In-N-Out burger.
All right.
But Charlie Weiss said, you know, they were tangible results. It wasn't just a little fun in the sun. They worked hard. They really developed even a better rapport, which you're certainly seeing the result of it today.
Clausen setting up a screen to Allen. Broke a tackle, still on his feet, and to the 45-yard line of the Wolfpack, where Mo Harvey knocks him out after a 24-yard gain on the screen.
Jimmy Clausen took a real shot there. And man, we saw this when he was a freshman. He got sacked all those times and 58 the next year. But, you know, sometimes you just got to hang in there, hang in there, hang in there. It was Baspet who got to right as he was releasing it. Yikes. And he came up a little wobbly.
Body slam.
Yeah. A tough guy. I mean, we learned that about him 2 years ago.
Clausen under center here, the I formation behind him. And handed off to Gray. Jonas Gray.
Tom, remember we came here, well, in Charlie Weiss's first year, which is 5 years ago now. They had really had one runner, Darius Walker. And you look at their depth chart. You mentioned some depth.
Right.
I mean, there's 5 different guys on the Irish depth chart now that are legitimate, you know, big-time college runners. Same in the offensive line, same in the defensive backfield, linebackers. Charlie Weiss, he's kind of suffered through a couple of years, but this is supposed to be the year you're going to reap the benefits.
Got that depth, says, brings a smile to his face. Andrew Nuss is in at a guard now, talking about rotating offensive linemen. Romine has played some. Wenger has played some. Flags everywhere.
Face mask.
Gray, Mo got him.
Personal foul, face mask, 55 defense, 15-yard penalty, first down.
Dante Moak, one of those 2 defensive linemen who have been relatively quiet here today. Yep. Easy call, good call.
Everybody in the stands saw that one.
Well, and Allen felt it. Nice mixture of plays. And Charlie Weis calling plays again as the offensive coordinator. Deep balls, screens, draws, power plays.
And the Irish threatening again as we come to the 3-minute mark in the first half. Gray.
Jonas Gray.
3 yards before Brandon Marshall stops him. And coming up, the rotoworld.com Notre Dame halftime show. Jimmy Roberts in New York with all the scores and highlights from the top 25. Peter King will join him with news and notes from the NFL. And Bob Costas talks to Steelers head coach Mike Tomlin. Pittsburgh coming off its Super Bowl win. Kicks off the season Thursday night against the Tennessee Titans. But coming up on the rotoworld.com Notre Dame halftime show. Second down play. Pitch to Gray. And a nice cut down the sideline and just out of bounds. Eric Olson, the center, made a nice springing block. He'll be marked out just short of the goal line.
He
right. Wants a touchdown.
Tom, you were right. Eric Olson, number 55, playing center for the first time in today's game, was the guard yesterday with number 55. Watch him pull and get out in here on the edge and make the block that really sprung Jonas Gray. There, Eric Olson, you know, the spring was the very first time he played some center and has played left guard most of his career. He is out. Yeah, I think he was out there.
He'll take a look to make sure. Notre Dame players have the touchdown sign going.
Yeah, well, that pylon, I think he hit the pylon before going out.
The rolling on the field of no touchdown.
Yeah, Eric Olson thinks it's a touchdown.
Jonas Gray has not scored a touchdown. The sophomore from Pontiac, Michigan. Carried 21 times last season.
There he comes. Inbounds.
Inbounds. Hit the pylon.
Hit the pylon. Pylon's in. I think that should be a touch. Feet's in there. Not down. He's up in the air. Yeah, he had already crossed the pylon before he went out of bounds there. In the field to play. I think it's a touch. I like the way this replay has played out in college football over the last couple of years. You know, they've been getting it right.
Yeah. And I like the automatic review. In other words, the idea is get it right.
Yep.
Chris Alt would just as soon. It's a different angle.
Yeah, I think he hit the pylon when he was in the field of play. But
after further review, the rolling on the field stands is called.
Okay. They'll disagree with me a lot this year, I know. Well, over the years,
ball did not break the plane of the goal.
Yeah, in these situations over the years, Charlie Weis has called a lot of quarterback sneaks with Brady Quinn, and even last year with Jimmy Clausen. Got his power backfield in though with James Aldridge and Allen.
And we'll give it to Allen, who skirts the end and scores. Touchdown, Armando Allen.
Well, maybe that is that second gear that Charlie Weis was talking about to us yesterday on Armando Allen. Yeah, and you're right, Tom. This has a lot of similarities to that Hawaii Bowl against another WAC team in the University of Hawaii.
It's been all Irish, that's for sure, with 1:48 left until halftime. On both sides of the football, really. Tausch for the extra point. And it is good. So 5 first half possessions for Notre Dame and 4 touchdowns.
Boy. You know, looking for efficiency from your offense. They certainly had it. James Aldrich, good block for the former featured tailback to allow Armando Allen to get to the corner using that burst.
And of course, this was set up by the Jonas Gray near score when Eric Olson had the key block.
They are absolutely clicking. Offensive line is, I think, the real barometer of this team this year will be that offensive line. They've had a magnificent first half thus far. Well, if you're a freshman at Notre Dame now, you got to be pretty happy about the prospects of your career at Notre Dame, don't you? 28 push-ups. Happily given by the student body, by the way. Yeah.
They won't mind doing more.
No.
The Notre Dame scoring drive, 80 yards in 7
Nick Tausch has it teed up.
Armando Allen, the last.
Wimberly and Ball, the deep men for the Wolfpack. Michael Ball. Mike Ball hit hard and dropped by Scott Smith. Woo.
Yeah, he's their special teams captain. Yikes, did he knock him down. Could hear it up here.
Yep. The MetLife Blimp, Snoopy 1, providing today's aerial coverage. Visit MetLife.com to learn more about the Blimp program's 20-year history. MetLife guarantees for the if in life. Well, the first visit ever by Nevada to play Notre Dame has not gone well for the Wolfpack.
Yeah. 29 yards passing for Colin Kaepernick. Again, a guy who threw for over 2,000 yards a year ago.
Blitz. Kaepernick unloads and got it to Tawa.
How about Vitawa? We talked to him this week. Started last year as the 4th team tailback. Ended up leading the Western Athletic Conference in rushing with 1,500 yards.
Averaged 118 a game. And the 1,521 yards you mentioned, 4th all-time at Nevada. Had 800-yard rushing games, including 263 against Fresno State. Kaepernick's pass, dangerous.
Yeah.
Nearly picked off. He threw it in between receivers, didn't he?
Well, I tell you, John Tenuta has really dialed up a good blitz package. That time, Darius Fleming, 45, came clean. I mean, I've seen at least 4 plays where linebackers have come absolutely clean to the quarterback.
And Tenuta, given the extra time to prepare for this game, has brought out the whole package.
Well, he gets off the bus blitzing, and it's working today.
Kaepernick completes it for a first down. This is Wimberly, Brandon Wimberly to midfield.
And Chris Alt was saying Brandon Wimberly's got to step up and play hard for us every play. He said he's got a lot of talent, but just doesn't show us every single day in practice.
Cal McCarthy tackled him, but not until he had gained 18 yards. Nevada first down. The ball just a few inches shy of the midfield stripe. Clock ticking down toward a minute left in the second quarter.
They have 3 timeouts remaining.
Another blitz. And another sack. Torian Smith.
I'll tell you, you talk about getting your defensive game plan together, and John Tenuta dialed it up again. One more time. Torian Smith comes absolutely clean to the quarterback. Usually you have a hot receiver to try to avoid this. But the left guard, John Bender, just ignored Torian Smith as he blitzed and got to Colin Kaepernick. 6 rushers, 5 offensive linemen blocking those 6 guys.
There you see the sacks. Kaepernick has a man wide open, and he got him. Wellington came free just past the first down marker. It's a 23-yard gain and a Nevada first down.
Remember you mentioned that, what was it, 94-mile-an-hour fastball? That was it. You really have to have a strong arm to throw it that far on the out route. Chris Wellington, their leading receiver from a year ago. Well-timed.
Knew how far he had to go. I like that. Time running out now, though, for the Wolfpack. 29 seconds left. Another blitz forces Kaepernick from the pocket.
Oh, boy.
Flag down as he wings it complete to Wellington.
Well, he had his tight end Virgil Green wide open for a touchdown. Boy, down the middle of the field.
Pass interference, number 85 offense, 15 yards.
Maybe that's why he was open.
That's why it was, yeah, you're right. Virgil Green, the tight end, was wide open because I guess he pushed off.
Yeah.
So just when they had something positive going, another setback with 20 seconds remaining.
Yeah, this.
So Nevada takes a timeout with 20 seconds left. Trying to get something on the board here in the final 20 seconds of the first half. Meanwhile, over on the Irish side, all smiles, huh? Yeah. Even Dane Christ got his first pass completion in the first half.
Well, it's easier smiling when you're up 28-0, and looks a lot like the Hawaii Bowl.
Reminds me of some of your stats here.
Yeah, warm-ups maybe. But he's on a roll, this guy. You know, came in as the #1 recruit 3 years ago. You know, they probably played him a little too early as a freshman and was hurt, and didn't protect him his second year. Got a little bit better, had some nice numbers last year, but
Charlie Weiss told us that he knew that things had begun to click for him after the Southern Cal game last season and before the bowl game. And his performance in the Hawaii Bowl, 400 yards, 5 touchdowns, Charlie told us was not surprising to him because he just saw the fact that everything had come together for him in the practices leading up to the bowl game.
Well, he always knew he was a good thrower, but being a good quarterback, that's an entirely different thing, and he's taken those steps.
First down, another blitz. Kaepernick able to shake it, and still going.
Oh.
To the 35-yard line, or the vicinity of the 35 before McCarthy chases him out. So Kaepernick galloped for 17 yards.
Brandon Wimberly, number 4. He had a
comeback block.
Comeback block for there he is. Kaepernick, he's one of the Darren Walls popped right back up.
He did.
Darren Walls was saying to us yesterday, wasn't sure what to expect as he came back from a year's absence, and that's what you should expect, I guess, as a DB.
10 seconds left. Another blitz. Kaepernick. Again, he escapes. Lines up and throws complete. No, and incomplete. Dropped by Wellington.
Yeah, it was a good play by Ray Herring. I think he may have gotten a piece of that one.
So 3 seconds on the clock. Kaepernick has done his Houdini act a couple times today as the pressure just relentlessly comes after him.
Yeah, they had a clean blitzer just about every play. Every single play. So either you got to throw that ball a lot quicker or you have to change your protection, one or the other.
Chris Ault, who calls the plays for Nevada, calling this one with 3 seconds left in the half. Another blitz.
Kept the tight end in that time.
Wide open in the end zone. It hung up a little while, and the interception for Notre Dame. Intercepted by Robert Blanton. Kaepernick had him for a moment, and then it took the ball so long to get there in that corner of the end zone that Blanton was able to pick it off. So the first half ends with the Irish looking good and leading Nevada 28-0. Let's go to Alex.
Charlie, Jimmy Clausen on fire in this first half, 11 of 13, over 200 yards, 3 touchdowns. What's your reaction to his first half play?
He did a real nice job. You know, he's managed the offense. He's made good throws. As a matter of fact, one of those drops was another 30-yard gain to Rudolph down the middle of the field. You know, I'm really happy with his performance in the first half.
You think think you know what you have in a team, but you don't know until you see them in that first game. What do you have?
Well, you got to be encouraged where we are right now. You know, first game jitters sometimes. You don't know what you got, but I'm feeling pretty good about where we are right now.
Thanks, Charlie.
And why not?
Yeah.
As the Irish lead Nevada 28-0, dominating the first half of the season's opener here at Notre Dame Stadium. It is 28-0 Irish as they dominate that first half against the Wolfpack. Plenty ahead. Jimmy Roberts and Peter King in our New York studio. The halftime performance of the Notre Dame band can be seen on NBCSports.com. But now it's time for the RotoWorld.com Notre Dame halftime show. And for that, let's go to Jimmy Roberts. Tom Hammond, Pat Hayden, Alex Flanagan back at Notre Dame Stadium. Season opener for the Irish, and they look good in that first half. 28-0 they lead Nevada as we get ready to start the third quarter. Jimmy Clausen having one of the best games of his career, taking right up where he left off in the bowl win over Hawaii.
And the play calling by Charlie Weiss too, Tom, right?
Yeah.
Going back to calling the plays this year.
And the Irish will kick off to start the second half. That's a look at Mike Ball, who is deep to receive the kickoff. Nick Tausch is ready to kick it for the Irish.
He really is ready.
I want to save some of that energy when you're
exactly. It's a little early.
And Tausch with a short kick. Taken by Wimberly. And only to the 20-yard line as we check in with Alex.
Well, Tom, certainly not the pistol offense so far in the first half of this game for Nevada that we might have expected to see. But Coach Chris Ault telling me that he's actually very happy with how his offense has performed. He said his quarterback at the half was very even keel. He is not worried about that. He told me what he is sick about, and sick being the word that he used to describe it as his defense. He said that he just can't believe that they're tackling the way they are, or not tackling, I should say, the way they are, and that he really, really needs them to get back to the basic fundamentals to have a chance in the second half. Tom.
Well, you never know that opening game, right?
Yeah.
What you're going to get.
Well, Colin Kaepernick knows what he's going to get. Another blitz. And they'll keep it on the ground to Tawa.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see what Chris Ault, how he changes the game plan in terms of trying to pick up that blitz, maybe keeping that tight end Virgil Green in a little bit more, but very innovative coach, but it's been a tough first half.
Tawa got 9 yards on that first down carry.
Look at that, 8.8 yards per play. Yikes.
Second down and 1 for Nevada. Bursting up the middle, Tawa again. Tracked down from behind by Harrison Smith.
Virtually every drive seems to start with promise, right? And particularly Tawa up the middle. They kind of get
able to finish them.
Yeah, they just kind of bog down. There's a sack or some sort of negative play by this John Tenuta's defense.
Tawa's numbers on the day, 69 yards. That last one gained 18 of them.
Should call it Corwin Brown's defense as well. They both coordinate the defense.
Another blitz. Another run. Tawa unable to get free that time.
Yeah, it was the blitz by Sergio Brown, number 31 for the Irish. He's their nickelback, Tom, and with a change in college football, you see so much of this spread. They call it the pistol here. That nickelback, that fifth guy, better be like a starter. I mean, because they're going to be playing lots and lots of playing time. There's Sergio Brown right there. And he had a big impact on nickel defense a year ago.
Another blitz on 2nd and 10. Quick toss. Caught on one knee, so Session is down at the spot where he caught the ball. A low throw from Kaepernick.
Well, one thing it looks like they're doing, trying to counteract that blitz, keeping the tight end in and getting the ball out of Kaepernick's hands very quickly. You're right. I mean, if you're going to blitz that much, you have one-on-one in the corners.
So 3rd down and 4 now for the Wolfpack. This is the opening series of the third quarter. Kaepernick back in his pistol formation. Another blitz showing by the Irish. Play action fake. Kaepernick rolls and now has to scramble away from trouble. Unloads it downfield through the hands of Virgil Green, the tight end, and incomplete.
Oh, that should have been a catch and a first down. Yeah, right through his hands. And he was the guy Chris Alt was saying to us last week that Virgil Green has got to, hands on helmet, got to have a better year for us. Came in as a wide receiver and moved to tight end. Keeps doing that to move him into tackle.
Pass was a little high, but still was catchable. As Langley is in punt formation.
Yeah, once again, promising start.
Yep. And it stalls. Golden Tate is going to let it go. And we'll be down beautifully on the 1 yard, inside the 1 yard line. That's textbook right there on special teams.
Yeah, people saying just because his left foot was in the end zone. It's the ball in college football. It doesn't matter where Lippincot's foot is. The ball was in the field of play.
Luke Lippincott, we haven't heard much from him today, but that was textbook right there. And in college, it's the ball that matters, not the feet.
Yeah. So left foot's it, doesn't make any difference. The ball's inside.
Notre Dame backed up. Notre Dame football is brought to you by ADT Security Services, always there. And by Bud Light, with just the right taste that never fills you up. The difference is drinkability. Look at the Heisman trophies here at Notre Dame as the Irish backed up inside their 1 yard line on their first possession of the second half.
We had a good first half. Was Eric Olson at center for the Irish, too.
Hand off to Allen. Armando bounced off one would-be tackler and got it out to the 5 yard line.
Yeah, remember we talked about yards after contact for Armando Allen. One of the key things for his season, what he wants to do is be a stronger runner. It's amazing, though. He's had 220 carries coming in today's game at Notre Dame. His longest run is only 21 yards. And that's another thing, I think, for Allen. He's going to have to, as Charlie says, use that second gear to create some long runs this season for the Irish.
Second down and 6. Allen again. Made a nice cutback. Tripped up before he got to the 10 yard line by Jonathan Amaya.
Yeah, if Jonathan Amaya doesn't make that tackle, he's going to go certainly for longer than 21. Jonathan Amaya, the free safety, there he is. And walked on 4 years ago, started as a walk-on, has played corner, strong safety, now is more natural position of free safety.
So he's certainly learned his way around the secondary, starting at every spot. Toss to Allen. And looks like he'll have enough for the first down.
Strong run. I mean, not every great run has to be for 50 yards, but, they'd like some more explosiveness out of him. But when you need a yard and a half, put your shoulder down and get the 2 yards, and Armando Allen did right there.
So starting inside the 1 yard line, they've been able to punch it out for a first down to the 11.
Charlie Weiss saying to us yesterday about Armando Allen, he said he's going to have a banner year. They said that to us a couple times about Armando, but he really thinks he's poised. He's bigger, stronger, he thinks. He's going to have a nice season.
In his junior season from Opelika, Florida, Hialeah Miami Lakes High School. Clausen winging it downfield for Floyd, and he went up to get it, and he's still on his feet. Michael Floyd racing to the end zone for the touchdown.
I'm not sure I want to be a defensive corner playing against these two wide receivers. I got to tell you, Michael Floyd had a big season last year as a true freshman, but has been phenomenal.
Well, earlier, he and Clausen hooked up for 70.
Yeah, he just runs, from the very first stride, he's open. But to see how strong he is after the catch, a lot of guys go down, but when you're 6'3", 215 pounds, you just kind of shake the little defensive back off and dance in the end zone.
So that's the longest reception of his career and the longest completion by Clausen, breaking the 70-yard one they had earlier in the game. Tausch with the extra point, good. And the Irish starting inside their own 1-yard line, get a first down, and then go for the home run. And Michael Floyd romps to the end zone from 88 yards. Well, the push-ups have reached 35 now, and he had to have a little help with that, didn't he?
The band's going to have to hit the gym this year, it looks like.
Tausch for the kickoff. On a bounce to Ball. Mike Ball dives to the 35-yard line, or thereabouts. And the Wolfpack take over there. Tiger Woods leads an elite field in the PGA Tour playoffs for the FedEx Cup, the Deutsche Bank Championship. That's tomorrow, 3 Eastern, here on NBC. Well, what do you say now if you're Chris Ault?
Play hard. I mean, you still learn about your team, right? It's the first game of the season.
Well, I think this is what the coaches will be looking at now.
Yeah, absolutely.
Who's going to give up on me and who's going to stay in there and keep playing hard?
Notre Dame was heavily favored. They should have been, but you're right. You'll learn a lot about your quarterback. You learn a lot about your team when you're down 35-0.
Blitz. Kaepernick completes the pass for a first down.
Well, that's a pretty good throw. Rolling to your left, you're 6'6", as we said. Get those shoulders turned and still deliver the ball to the wide receiver, Wimberly.
Wimberly caught it for 18.
This is as tough as throw as you can make as you rolling to your left, throwing that out. Good pattern.
John Danuta is certainly not calling off the blitz.
No, but they did a better job, Nevada has, of picking it up.
Stopped at the line of scrimmage was by Torian Smith.
You know, the quarterbacks coming in today had kind of equal career stats, right? But look at today. Jimmy Clausen, 4 touchdowns. I don't know how to do the rating. I know you're going to explain it to me later. Right. It's something they multiply by your phone number or something. But look at the rating, the TD to interception ratio, almost 300 yards. And Kaepernick has just been under duress.
I don't know how they figure it either, but I'd say that it can't get a lot higher.
I would guess not. What's perfect? 360, I guess.
Out of the backfield to Virgil Green. Actually, not out of the backfield, but Green, the tight end, catches it.
Another one of those tackles by Kyle McCarthy. Yeah. We talked about how many he made last year. You know, he doesn't really, they're not ferocious tackles that knock you out with him, but boy, he doesn't miss one. I haven't seen him miss a tackle really in 2 years. Had a chance to talk to him yesterday, graduated, went to the ceremony. Barack Obama was the speaker and one of only 8 guys who shook the president's hand.
There's that record-setting number of tackles last year. He managed to sneak his way down to the front row and shake the president's hand as he collected his degree in finance. Kaepernick stepped up, threw an interception right into the hands of McCarthy. And Kyle wrestled out of bounds. Tawa made the tackle after the interception occurred.
Boy, yeah. You know, he's just done it right in his career. We talked to him yesterday, and that's what he was most proud of, doing it right in everything he's done here at Notre Dame.
His 3rd career interception. Senior Kyle McCarthy from Youngstown, Ohio. Irish have the ball back. Hesburgh Library, or Touchdown Jesus, as it's known by all Notre Dame fans. I'd like to thank the MetLife Blimp for providing today's aerial coverage. MetLife has the protection you need for the most important ifs in your life. Visit MetLife.com today. So after Kyle McCarthy's 4th career interception, the Irish take over at the 46-yard line. 46 of Nevada. Toss it to Jonas Gray. Might have lost a yard.
Well, what a day Jimmy Clausen has had. 12 of 14 thus far. Tom, I actually can't remember the 2 incompletions. All you see is these great throws downfield. Started off with a little screen to his tight end to slow that rush. Kyle Rudolph. And then watch him look off on this. So he looks left, then he comes back to Kyle Rudolph. Very athletic, 6'6" tight end. And then the absolute heave to Michael Floyd. Out fights the defender for the ball and is so strong, goes 88 yards for the touchdown.
Here's Aldridge with a carry. Second down carry. With the tackle by James Michael Johnson.
There goes Aldridge. Injured his shoulder, looked like. Boy, he kind of willingly made the change from running back to fullback.
Hadn't played fullback since high school days, back in Maryville High School.
But just one of those unselfish acts. You know, this is his senior year. His senior season for the Irish. He came in as a highly touted 5-star running back. Ooh, we got it in the knee there too, did he?
Looked like. He already has his degree, a psychology degree from Notre Dame, as he moved over from the tailback spot to the starting fullback. Charlie Weiss continues to get some young players into the game too.
Well,
Shaquille Evans, the freshman from Inglewood, California, wide receiver, makes his first appearance.
I suspect you're going to get a chance to see a lot of young players for the Irish, up 35-0. Shaquille Evans is the guy who originally committed to USC and changed his mind here at Notre Dame. Big-time receiver in Southern California at Inglewood High School.
Clausen winds up and delivers to Gray. Inside the 40, but short of the first down. Tackled by Adam Lorenzo. So it's going to bring up a 4th down. And the offense stays on the field.
Yeah, Charlie Weiss has to be pretty happy with this thing, right? And he had that wry smile about him. We met with him yesterday. I think he thinks he has a really good football team. Didn't want to talk about it. Said, hey, we're going to prove it. But he thinks he's got a real good team.
4th down and 3. Clausen hit as he delivers deep and out of bounds.
That's twice Jimmy Clausen just got creamed. James Michael Johnson, the linebacker there. Man. Watch this hit by Johnson, where a lot of mothers want their kids playing tennis, playing the U.S. Open.
So we got a timeout with 5:50 left in the 3rd, and Nevada takes over. Opening game of the 2009 season, and Notre Dame about a 2-touchdown favorite, completely dominating Nevada here. And they come with another blitz on first down, a hand to Tawa.
The Tawa's had a nice little game, though. Closing on, I believe, 100 yards.
What's the latest total?
Well, I think that he was 88 before that one, Tom, so...
97 now.
Okay, here we go. Just had this sense he was closing in on it.
You're amazing.
Yeah. There he is. Well, he has been really the lone bright spot offensively.
Tawa again bending for a first down as he crosses midfield.
You know, we opened the show with saying, hey, we've never seen a team with 3,000-yard rushers. Well, Kaepernick's been shut down. We haven't seen much of Luke Lippincott. Tawa's had a nice game.
And today's first down line brought to you by Xerox.
Well, they need a few more of those, don't they? First downs.
Xeroxes or first downs?
That's good, Tom. That's a very good point. Very first of the season. Well done.
Kaepernick kept and delivered a strike.
Ouch.
And then Gary Gray delivered the hit.
Yeah, we talked about depth, and the Irish have, 4 or 5 corners that can play, and Gary Gray is one of them. Again, your corners is a tough position to play because you have to be able to make tackles in the open field and cover speedy receivers down the field. And you don't have good corners and a good quarterback, you're not going to make any BCS noise, believe me.
Play clock just under 10. And handed to Tawa. And Tawa again with a first down run, which takes him over 100 yards rushing for the game. That one went for 10.
It's amazing. Vitale was telling us this week he actually left the team twice. You know, he got a little discouraged, 4th on the depth chart a year ago, left the team twice, then came back, and it was a series of injuries and an opportunity which he seized and had a big season.
Yeah, thought he should have been playing, so quit. Thought about going someplace else. Glad he came back now. Kaepernick swing is complete.
Yeah, we got something going here.
Tawa using his blockers well. And is inside the Irish 10-yard line. Kyle McCarthy tracked him down, a gain of 24.
Nice call by Chris Ault against the blitz. You know, they protected better, and then there's a little blitz buster right here. You just kind of throw it over the top of the blitz to Tawa, who's a pretty good receiver. Good block by Alonzo Durham, number 73, kind of lumbering down there on McCarthy. Once again, McCarthy does a good job of maybe saving that touchdown.
Fought off the blocker to make the play. So now 1st and goal. Spot the ball at the Irish 6-yard line. They try the middle with Tawa and only got a yard.
And there's the guy who came up in the bottom of that by Ethan Johnson, number 9, the defensive tackle for the Irish. Guy had a pretty good freshman season last year, and they're looking for him to take that next step.
And the Irish fans down in that end zone trying to urge their team to preserve the shutout. 2nd down and goal from the 5. And timeout, Nevada. And with the Wolfpack timeout, we'll go to Jimmy Roberts in our New York studio for an ADT game break.
Jimmy Roberts in New York with an ADT game break. Western Kentucky University travels to Knoxville, and this one was ugly early and often. Jonathan Crompton, one of 5 touchdown passes on the day, a career high for him. 63-7 when it was over. The final score, and after 17 years of Philip Fulmer, the Lane Kiffin era begins with a bang. Tom?
All right, 63-7 at Neyland Stadium.
Perhaps another tough team in the SEC emerging.
Yeah, Tennessee was picked to be a non-contender for the championship this year. Everyone figured Florida, of course, and Georgia in the East. Last we heard, Georgia was having a struggle today against Oklahoma State.
Yeah. Well, Oklahoma State's a pretty good ball club.
Yep.
Yeah.
2 ranked teams. Then you see some other scores as they scoot by on the screen. This opening day or opening weekend, at least, of college football.
Yeah, the Irish schedule got a little bit tougher today when I watched Navy push Ohio State.
Yeah.
They play the midshipmen later on in the year.
There's that Oklahoma State Georgia score, 17-7 Cowboys. Second down goal from the 5-yard line. Option. Tawa had trouble getting the handle and lost it. Recovered by Notre Dame's Capron Lewis Moore.
You know, this is the most fun I've seen an Irish team in 5 or 6 years, too.
Don't say fun to him.
No.
Once again, a promising drive.
Yep. That one had touchdown written on it.
Yeah, clunks to a close with the turnover.
It was going to be a touchdown. Nobody out there. Maybe just out. Yeah, he should have caught that.
Yep.
And probably scored. Yeah, it was a good pitch.
Took his eyes off it to see which way he was going to cut, see who he might be able to get by for the touchdown, and turns it over. Tough afternoon for Chris Ault and the Wolfpack. As we said in the WAC, figured to challenge Boise State in the preseason predictions. And their task will be to try to regroup after this big loss at Notre Dame. Armando Allen for another first down.
Yeah, good hard run and good blocking on the left side. Paul Duncan, Stewart, left guard, left tackle.
14-yard gain on this one.
Mike Ragone, number 83, having a nice block as well. I could say that was Matt Romine playing left tackle on that one, but Mike Ragone fought some injuries that really sealed the outside for Armando Allen on that run.
Allen on the draw play. Just tripped up with the flag down.
Man,
just tripped up by James Michael Johnson.
One offense, 10-yard penalty, first down.
That was a shoestring tackle away from being a 50 or 60-yard play.
Although there was a flag down, which would have nullified it anyway.
Yeah.
The holding call against the Irish.
Hey, big time! Big time! Big time!
On Dan Winger, number 51. Sometimes center, sometimes guard.
First down and 20 now. Clausen from the shotgun. Fakes one way, goes to deliver the screen the other to Rudolph. Nevada defense played that one well. James Michael Johnson, 2 nice plays in a row.
Yeah, well, Nigel Burton, the defensive coordinator, was saying you're going to notice this guy. He's got a bit of a wild man in him, as he told us. And saw him make a sack earlier in the game as well.
What about Nigel's academic background?
How about Nigel Burton, the defensive coordinator for the Wolfpack? Here's a guy that was a 3-time academic All-Pac-10 guy at the University of Washington in accounting. And then as a graduate assistant, he went and got an MBA. Now, you don't hear that much from defensive coordinators, do you?
No, a lot of times from commentators. But
yeah, MBAs, I mean, come on.
20 seconds left in the quarter as the handoff goes to Jonas Gray. Gray bursts the big one. He crosses the 20 to the 22-yard line for a 15-yard gain. Mo Harvey saved the touchdown. And the final seconds tick away as the onslaught continues here at Notre Dame Stadium. At the end of the third quarter, the Irish of Notre Dame leading Nevada 35-0. We'll return to Notre Dame Stadium after these messages from your local station. You're watching Notre Dame football on NBC. Notre Dame scored on 4 of their first 5 possessions in the first half to put this one away. And as we head to the final quarter, it's the Irish 35-0. Clausen's in the shotgun here on 3rd down and 8 from his own 23-yard line. And the pass is caught by Golden Tate. And Tate with a cutback and then slammed to the turf.
Yeah, he starts out as a wide receiver, but after he catches it, he becomes a running back for sure.
And the hit was made by Zach Madonic downfield on Tate, but 15 yards on the gain.
Remember his first year as a wide receiver, all he could do was run the go route. He ran it pretty well, but now he's really developing into a polished receiver, running inside routes.
Well, he was a running back in high school, right? That first year he looked like a running back, just using his speed and not much else. Then last year he looked much improved, looked like a receiver who really understood some of the nuances, and now, as you said, very polished. Used that time in California with his quarterback to get even more skilled, and he is quite a weapon.
Yeah. Look at these receptions. Yikes. How about the average for Michael Floyd? You ever seen that? 47.
It's pretty good.
47.3, 3 touchdowns. And
I think his mom, Teresa Romeo, will be happy about that. She worked so hard to get him to a private high school, to Cretin-Durham High School in the St. Paul area, and she worked the concession stands to get enough money to pay the tuition. He came to school at 6:15 in the morning to clean classrooms so he could take care of the tuition for that private school, hoping that it would be a pathway to Notre Dame, and indeed it has been. And since the first time he took the field as a freshman a year ago, he's been something special.
Yeah, and you talk about something special today. You know, the receptions, each one has gotten better for Michael Floyd today. And he's had a bunch of good ones. His first reception was just for 7 yards. His second reception was for 24. And his third at 70. His fourth at 88. What happens in the fifth?
Oh, well, the last two set personal records, both for he and for Clausen.
Yeah, and you know, you have those two wideouts, but I think what makes the team even more dangerous is having Kyle Rudolph as that tight end. They can really work the middle.
Gray, the sophomore from Pontiac, Michigan, getting a lot of playing time today. Last year he played in 7 games, carried 21 times for 90 yards out of Detroit Country Day High School, Prep All-American and All-Stater there. In fact, on a state runner-up team at Country Day. Gained 2,600 yards as a senior and was on a state championship basketball team as well. Charlie Weiss happy to return play calling when you get a game like this. Eric Most will punt on 4th down and a yard. And we'll let it bounce. It'll roll dead at about the 11-yard line.
Mike Anello, first time we called his name touching that ball. Special teams standout last year for the Irish.
Take a break here with 12:13 on the clock, and the 23rd ranked Irish up big. Notre Dame football is brought to you by Geico, where 15 minutes could save you 15% or more on car insurance. By Party Mayo flat rate boxes, only from the Postal Service, a simpler way to ship. And by McDonald's. Beautiful look there at the Golden Dome, the administration building, the University of Notre Dame, the Basilica on the left. And this campus. Lake there and stadium right in the middle of things on this beautiful University of Notre Dame campus. And a happy day for Irish fans as they come out of the box to lead 35-0 in the 4th quarter of their opening game. Kaepernick's pass, that's a nice looking pass on target to Session. Trey Session catches it, and you could hear the pop on it from up here.
Here's your man Manti Te'o from the north shore of Oahu. And an incredible year last year in Punahou High School there.
Same high school as Barack Obama.
Yeah, indeed. It's the guy, you know, really, you know, they think an absolute difference maker as this, even his freshman season goes on. Charlie Weiss says you don't see freshmen like that.
Doesn't look like your average freshman. Kaepernick after the fake. Pass is caught. No, incomplete.
This is how you build depth, though, for your team, right? You get games like this, and you have those second team, sometimes your third team guys really have some meaningful minutes. And, you know, it's a long haul this season, and 1 or 2 injuries can really affect the outcome. There's an injured Aldridge.
And for more, let's go to Alex.
Hey, Tom, well, you see James Aldridge there with his jersey off. The trainer trying to get his jersey back on him, but they couldn't do it because he can't bend his arm. Seems to be in a lot of pain. His right arm kind of limp, so imagining it might have something to do with his right shoulder.
All right, Alex, thank you. As that pass falls incomplete, intended for Wellington. That's been the only cloudy development for the Irish today, has been that injury to Aldridge.
I tell you, the Irish faithful really have to be, I think, hopeful. I mean, I know it's Nevada.
They're always hopeful.
Well, yeah. But Nevada was a legitimate offensive team. I mean, defensively, they struggled last year, and they struggled again today. So I don't know how much of that was Notre Dame, how it was Nevada. But there's some reason to be optimistic.
Here's the third down. They've only 1 of 8 on third downs this afternoon. Kaepernick escapes, gets to the outside, and picks up the first down. So they convert that third for only the second time today. Rayshon McNeil chased Kaepernick out of bounds.
Amazing, Kaepernick wasn't recruited really out of high school. Nevada was the only team that did. He had a 4.5 GPA coming out of high school. Some Ivy League schools looked at him, probably because he played baseball. Everybody thought he was going to play, college baseball or professional baseball.
Well, he was actually scheduled to make a recruiting visit here to Notre Dame for baseball. And at the last minute, Notre Dame signed another pitcher, canceled the visit. And so here he is finally getting to Notre Dame. Although the end result is not going to be what he had hoped for. There's Manti Te'o with a cheer from the crowd, makes the hit.
The last time he was here in the stadium, he left early because of the cold. And I want to tell you, he's going to be out here late on most games and late in the season. Manti Te'o, number 5. Just following the line of scrimmage, running down the line of scrimmage and making a big hit.
That visit he made at the Syracuse game, they had to scrape snow off the field, and he was so cold he left and went to the press box. That didn't seem a good omen at the time for Notre Dame, but he finally decided between SC and Notre Dame. And at 5 o'clock the morning of the decision, he made it. Kaepernick makes the fake and keeps it. Scott Smith with the Notre Dame tackle.
It was a chilly day in Syracuse.
I remember, and chilly in more ways than one when the final score went up.
Indeed, indeed. Well, that's what it looked like late November. And he was, sitting in the student section and basically said, I think at mid-first quarter, I'll see you guys later. I'm going to the locker room.
But eventually wound up in South Bend for good. 3rd down and 2. Screen pass coming.
That's Te'o again.
That's Te'o again.
He's already a crowd favorite.
He blasted Wimberly.
He is already a crowd favorite. When he was being recruited here last year, the student body in their attempt to try to get him there, everybody was wearing those Hawaiian leis. Boy, your head on a swivel. 225 pounds. 4.5 40, they say.
So Langley is on for another Nevada punt. High driving punt. Golden Tate calls a fair catch and makes it right off the 12-yard line. So once again, Nevada unable to get anything going, and the shutout preserved by Te'o getting a little taste of the action at Notre Dame Stadium. Back at Notre Dame Stadium in the 4th quarter, 9:27 on the clock, and a new quarterback for the Irish. Dane Christ has come in, played one play in the first half and completed a pass. Highly touted quarterback from Canoga Park, California. And he's going to throw it from deep in his own territory and complete it. First catch for Deion Walker, who's just into the game. Sophomore wide receiver. It goes for 15 yards.
Well, Charlie was very adamant. He's going to have him run the offense. It's not just going to run out the clock. He wants him to get the full array of plays.
And Theo Riddick, the speedster, freshman running back, is also on the field.
He and Jimmy Clausen were middle school classmates in Southern California.
Christ, yeah. Here's Riddick. Nearly broke it. Theo Riddick caught by the shoe tops. Just short of the first down. And while we were away, it was interesting to see as Coach Charlie Weiss mandated the change in quarterbacks. Look at Jimmy Clausen applaud with a big grin and send his friend out onto the field. Well, he helped recruit him to Notre Dame. Jimmy did help recruit Dane Christ to Notre Dame, despite the fact that he would be competition. And Christ was highly sought after. Getting a chance, his first chance to play.
Yeah, really valuable moments, right? As tough as Jimmy Clausen is, that you just never know when you can need that backup quarterback to win a game for you.
Theo Riddick for the first down.
You mentioned Theo Riddick being their fastest player. I was surprised to hear that from Charlie. I always thought Armando Allen was, and a guy that has impressed them since the very first day of training camp. Theo Riddick.
I'd like to see a race between Allen, Riddick, and Golden Tate.
Yeah. It'd be hard if it were 100 yards or 100 meters. Give me Golden Tate, who set the state qualifying record in Tennessee in high school.
Riddick with a hurdle. Eight-yard gain.
Well, we said he's impressed everybody since the very first day of camp. Athletic guy. You know, it just shows you, too. Look at that jump, Tom, how these rating services, you know, he wasn't highly rated, wasn't one of those five-star guys. You can see how athletic he is. Charlie Weis loves him, and going to be a factor in special teams and on the offense as well.
Got the call there on short yardage and did not get much. In fact, I think stopped short of the first down. So look at Theo. Immaculata High School in New Jersey. Not bad.
Yeah,
4,000 rushing yards.
I would have liked to have been a quarterback on his team. Just hand the ball to him and
get away.
Yeah.
Third down. Christ hands to Riddick. Hit in the backfield and dropped that time. Nevada defense did enough of all this. James Michael Johnson got penetration into the backfield.
We saw Robbie Paris, one of their fourth wide receiver, come off with an injury.
And Riddick will go to the sideline on fourth down. Lost to punt. Vitale awaits it with just under 6 minutes left in the game.
Hit. I think it was an Irish player, though.
Out of bounds and Nevada's ball. So the Wolfpack will take over, down by 35. Jimmy, and of course the Irish go to the Big House next week.
Yep.
So a win will help a lot of the Wolverine problems, I guess. And what about that Navy-Ohio State game?
Yeah.
I was shocked they didn't go to the triple option for the two-point conversion.
You just, you know, they run the ball so well. Why throw it in that circumstance?
I mean, they had thrown 4 touchdown passes that day.
Element of surprise.
Yeah. Tyler Landtrip is the new quarterback for Nevada, and he hands to Mike Ball for a short gain. Landtrip, a sophomore from Roseville, California.
Interesting guy, a semester away from a dual major degree in finance and economics, 3.6 GPA, smart kid.
Just played one game last year, completed his only pass, was redshirted the year before. Notre Dame still blitzing. And that one's caught by Session. He showed us some strong hands, and the flag down.
Might have been a little face mask. By the way, when you say Notre Dame's still blitzing, you know, that is self-evident. They're going to blitz all year long. That's the way John Tenuta does it. Corwin Brown helps him coordinate that defense. And, boy, they had a good defensive game plan.
Foul, face mask, defense, 15-yard penalty, first down.
Irish able to get some reserves in defensively now.
Yeah.
Steve Filer in, Anthony McDonald, David Pozlesny, whose brother Paul, you'll remember, was the Penn State All-American, plays for the Buffalo Bills now. Zeke Mata is in there, Jamoris Slaughter, Gary Gray, Ray Herring. So
build depth, keep your starters healthy.
Incomplete through the hands of Mo Patterson.
Pass was intended for Mo Patterson.
And today's first down line has been brought to you by Xerox.
Now, this is probably a good opening game for the Irish in a couple ways. Just now they're going to play a similar team, a spread option team now that Michigan plays next week. So while the pistol is somewhat different, they probably throw it a little better. Probably a good opening game to prepare for Michigan as well, Tom.
Paddy Mullen into the defense for the Irish, as the pass by Lantrip is on target to Wellington.
A late flag there.
Another flag. Callan Wade is in the defense for Notre Dame. Sean Swinar. Leonard Gordon has made an appearance in the backfield, so a lot of reserves getting their name called.
14, offense, 15-yard penalty, second down.
So they say that Wellington pushed off. Well, 4 minutes plus and counting. And the Irish pitching the shutout, Alex.
Hey, Tom, something that has not happened here for a long time, never under Charlie Weiss's tutelage. Last time a shutout against Rutgers, 2002, and the teammates sang it amongst themselves. Shut out, Tom.
All right, Scooter.
Well done, Alex.
They've got Nevada back at the 16-yard line, so and that pass errant from Lantrip to Wellington.
Excuse me, Tom, why they've had that shutout. I mean, they got a good defensive plan by Corwin Brown and John Tenuta, who helped coordinate this defense, and they really put a lot of pressure and really separated themselves, I think, in the first half with the pressure they put on the quarterback of Nevada. Blitz after blitz, and guy who came cleanly after, cleanly. Brian Smith had 2 sacks. Nobody's blocking him. Quarterback has absolutely no chance. And then it's the middle linebacker, another Smith, Torian. And then the interception by Kyle McCarthy.
Lantrip hangs that one up and nearly picked off.
Coaches kept telling us that this team is more and more athletic. You know, everybody's optimistic before that first game, Tom, but certainly appears to be a deeper team for the Irish for sure.
Question. And some of that depth showing here is the veteran Mo Richardson on the field with Hafiz Williams is in there.
There's Corwin Brown, who coaches the defensive backs, helps coordinate the defense. Great player himself at Michigan.
John Goodman is back to receive the punt for Notre Dame. And Langley's punt. Goodman gathers it in. Got by the first wave. Cuts back. And down inside the 40-yard line.
Yeah, it's going to be a good night in the dorms tonight, Tom.
Brent Roy made the tackle. The punt covered 47, but then Goodman brought it back 24. Everything going the Irish way today. Snoopy One has been with us this afternoon to provide these dramatic views of the Notre Dame game, Notre Dame Stadium. The MetLife Blimp provides coverage of major sporting events, while MetLife provides you with guarantees for the if in life. Visit MetLife.com today. In the house that Rockne built.
Yeah.
Jimmy Clausen and Charlie Weiss. Charlie Weiss with his job on the line. Jimmy Clausen saying over the summer, I will not be the reason if Coach Weiss is fired. Looked like that was on target today, huh?
He's playing like this. Charlie's going to get raised.
Robert Hughes makes his first appearance. And
the crowd loves him too, and a guy that was suspended actually for the first half of this game because he was thrown out for fighting in their last regular season game against USC. So by NCAA rule had to sit out the first half. So now seeing his first action today.
Dane Christ handing off to Robert Hughes. And Dante Moak with a Nevada tackle. Nevada with an open date next week to try to lick their wounds. Meanwhile, the Irish will travel to the Big House to meet Michigan. And then in 2 weeks, it'll be Michigan State against Notre Dame here at Notre Dame Stadium, presented by Coke Zero. That's 2 weeks here on NBC.
Well, Michigan State's been tough on the Irish here.
They've had Notre Dame
5 in a row. Here's today against Montana State.
So coming up in 2 weeks after The Irish go to Michigan next week.
And a different kind of team. They're going to pound it, right?
They will. You won't see the spread. Wide open spread as Hughes makes the first down.
Again, 2 minutes remaining, up 35-0. Again, Charlie said to us, hey, Dane Christ is going to have the full complement of play. So, again, I wouldn't be surprised to see him throw the ball here, even though they have this very large lead.
Check out some other scores, including that Ohio State Navy game.
Yeah, Ohio State returns a 2-point play for 2 points. It's a close one for them. Georgia Tech, well coached by Paul Johnson.
Former Navy coach.
Yep.
Robert Hughes gets the call again. The clock ticks down toward a minute and a half. 7-point game, Oklahoma State and Georgia. SC as expected. First quarter there with the Tar Heels and the Citadel.
North Carolina is going to be pretty strong, I think, this year in the ACC.
Made a nice comeback, haven't they?
Yep.
After a few lean years.
Yeah, over 500, good balance. You know, and I think the key thing for Charlie in the rushing game, he loves the 170 yards, but more importantly, they average 4.5 yards a rush. That's kind of his magical number. That's what the efficiency that he's looking for in the running game is, that 4.5 number.
Robert Hughes getting the workout as we're inside the final minutes. Well, the first trip to play Notre Dame was not a pleasant one for Nevada, despite the fact that they enjoyed the surroundings. Yesterday at the walkthrough, they were all appreciating the tradition of playing at Notre Dame. Didn't turn out too well for them. They'll have an open date next week. And for Notre Dame fans, what a way to start the season. The best the Irish have looked in some time. Notre Dame scored touchdowns on 5 of their first 6 possessions to put this one away, while the defense pitched the shutout. Doesn't get much better than that. Shutout from the defense, and the offense very productive with touchdowns on 5 of the first 6 possessions, led by that man, Jimmy Clausen, who recorded the 2 longest pass plays of his Notre Dame career, 70 and then 88 yards, both to Michael Floyd today. And Coach Chris Ault, so he said, he's already in the Hall of Fame here in South Bend, and he and Coach Weiss exchanging pleasantries. Coach Ault's a veteran, his 25th year, and he just knows he was overmatched here today.
There's just no doubt about it. Well, as impressive as the offense was, I think I'm more impressed with Notre Dame's defense.
Right.
They were playing against a pretty good offensive team. You based it off last year's numbers. So I think they've got some promise there, shutting people down this year.
Well, now they'll have to go on the road, and now they'll have to see if Michigan has revived its fortunes.
Only 4 road games this year for the Irish. 1 neutral site game, 7 home. So the schedule lines up pretty well for them, too.
But they've been saying all along, we're through talking, and that would probably be including bragging about this one now.
Yeah, you're right.
And we have to show you.
The other one.
Let's go down to Alex.
Well, Charlie, a shutout, your first in your career here at Notre Dame. What do you think?
Yeah, I'm happy. I'm really happy for the defensive players. You know, coming in, everyone's been telling them how, Nevada was going to go up and down the field against them all day long. So they really wanted to come and pitch a shutout, and you don't get a chance to do it very often, but they did, so I'm happy for them.
What are you happiest about? Your offensive play, your defensive play?
I'm just happy that it's the opener, and we didn't look like it was the opener. Too many times you come out there and you're rusty, or you make a lot of mental errors, or you turn the ball over a bunch, and we didn't do that. So, that's a good start. Hey, look, we have a long way to go, but it's a good start. Very
few penalties in this game. It was a really clean game. What do you attribute that to?
Well, they're the type of things that you don't normally see in a first game. Normally you see it a lot more sloppy. That's one of the reasons why for a first game out, I'm content.
You were back doing what you have done so well in the past, being an offensive coordinator. How did that feel? How do you describe it?
I felt good in the first half. I didn't do so well in the second half, though, did I?
What about reaction towards
Alma Mater?
All right, we're going to let Charlie listen to the Alma Mater.
Okay, the playing of the Alma Mater, Notre Dame, our mother. And so the Irish with another opening win under Charlie Weiss. And the star of the game on offense, Jimmy Clausen. And he's with Alex.
Jimmy, this is the most energetic I've ever seen this stadium and your team. Describe this day for you.
You know, it was a great game. You know, we came out as a team and we just wanted to, you know, just start off the year in the right note. And, you know, I think this team did a great job in the offseason, you know, working for this point in our season. You know, we did a great job.
I know you can visualize a game and how you want it to go. Could have you visualized a better game for yourself?
Maybe if it was just, you know, if I complete every pass, but, you know, it was a great game. I give all the credit to my offensive line first, and, you know, my receivers made plays, and so did the running backs.
Yeah, talk a little bit about those receivers. Michael Floyd made some big plays.
He did. You know, Michael Floyd's a great athlete, and, you know, Golden Tate as well as Kyle Rudolph and the rest of the guys on the team, you know, the list just keeps going on, and, you know, they're great.
Jimmy, I've gotten to watch you evolve from when you first came in here. Your energy is completely different on the sideline now. How do you describe kind of your demeanor and what you're feeling as the quarterback of this team right now?
You know, I'm just trying to be a leader of this team and just have a good time. You know, each and every time we come out on the field, we just want to have a lot of fun and, you know, ultimately come out with a win.
What do you think you can accomplish this season?
I don't know. We'll see. We got Michigan next week. You know, we're going to have fun tonight and get ready for the Wolverines tomorrow.
Congratulations, Tom. A pretty good day. He almost had all of those completions.
Yeah, he really had a super opening day, just as he had a close game of last season in the bowl game. And so Jimmy Clausen certainly was playing at the top of his game today. Review some of his highlights for us,
Yeah,
Pat.
you know, there were a whole bunch of highlights for Jimmy Clausen today. And he had a lot of different things well. He managed the game well. He avoided traffic and, you know, avoided sacks when he had to, got down to protect himself to play the next play, and just kind of, you know, started the game off with a nice little screen, a couple of screen passes. Used all his receivers. This was my favorite, the way he kind of looked off the safety and used that big tight end of his. And, you know, Michael Floyd was just incredible today, averaging 47 yards a catch. Just shaking people off. A high school basketball player, just kind of was almost like a rebound on that one, wasn't it? So all in all, you couldn't have asked, I think, for anything more from Jimmy Clausen.
Well, you know, it's easy to gush after a game like that, and we've been fooled before. But there's just sort of a different feeling and a different swagger about this team that we haven't seen in recent years.
Yeah, you know, you always say, hey, don't drink the Kool-Aid too early, right? And I kind of feel the same thing. Charlie and the coaching staff, you know, very, very subtly kind of winked at us this week and said, hey, we think we have the depth. And he kept saying, oh, those guys on the West Coast, we're getting the kind of guys that they get. And Monty Teo is one of those kind of guys. So, you know, this is a team that's going to be interesting, and it's very, very early. You're right. It's easy to gush. Let's see what happens after they play the next two.
Well, now you said the running game needed to improve. How did you gauge that today?
Well, 178 yards. You know, over I think it was about 4.4 yards by the end of the day. So good protection for Clausen. So I think the offensive line is going to be a barometer for their season, in spite of all the big long passes. But they get a passing grade for sure today.
And that depth, we talked about it so much, and everybody looking forward to the debut for Manti Te'o, the highly touted recruit. And he didn't disappoint today. Got on the field early, as Charlie Weiss said he would, and made a couple of plays.
Yeah, he did. And, you know, it's funny how quickly he has become a crowd favorite. You notice that every time he was in. But you see the speed and the athleticism. This is what the Irish really didn't have, you know, 2 or 3 years ago. But it's been developing. You know, he's one of the few guys as a freshman that can make those kind of plays. But they're thrilled with the guy, and you see why.
Back to the offense for a minute. You have to think that Golden Tate and Michael Floyd, not only for what we saw today, but what we saw last season as well, have to be two of the best in college football.
Yeah, you know, if you have one, you can double them. If you have two and you add a tight end like Kyle Rudolph, boy, I tell you, that's tough for a defensive coordinator. And they've got the pieces. The pieces of the puzzle to make them a dynamic offensive team.
All right, let's look at Michael Floyd and some of his spectacular plays today, and they just seem to get better and better. He had 4 catches, each one better than the last.
Yeah, it's hard, you know, the last one was 88. The third one was for 77. The first one was just for 7, but good route there. He's so strong in the air. Both these guys are, right? Good block by the other receiver, Tate. This kind of surprised me a little bit. I never thought of him as being a speed guy necessarily, more of a position body guy, but outran 3 defenders there. And then this one, you know, good release kept the defensive backs hands off him, and then the strength once again, as we talked about.
And that one went for 88 yards, the longest of his short career and the longest of Jimmy Clausen's career as well.
You know, Golden Tate averaged almost 20.
They'll be back here against their recent nemesis here at Notre Dame Stadium. Michigan State will have that broadcast for you on the road to Purdue, and then they'll take on Washington and SC back-to-back here at Notre Dame Stadium. And do you see any places here that are you know SC is going to be tough?
But Michigan State's going to be a tough one because they're going to play two kind of finesse teams, or two, I shouldn't say finesse teams, but spread teams. Then you get a pounded Michigan State, completely different game plan. You got 1 week to prepare for that. USC is the best, most athletic team on their schedule. They're going to be ready for them this year. They have a bye before that game, so that could be, they could well be 5-0 at that point, and that will be a very interesting game.
Will be. Well, there's some interesting games today, as a matter of fact, including that Ohio State-Navy game. So let's go to New York and join Jimmy Roberts to take a look at some of the highlights. We'll be back here for some final thoughts. But right now to Jimmy Roberts for the U.S. Bank NBC Sports Report in New York.